Hello everyone, it's Dave with Dave's Customs. Today I'm going to show you how I do a wheel swap on Hot Wheels and the tools I use. This method should work on most styles of cars. Today we're going to do it on the Nissan GT-R R35. What I use is I use a 3/16 drill bit to take out the rivets, then a 16th drill bit to drill the posts, and then we got the 2-56 tap. And then we have 1/8 by the 2-56 button head screws. I have two different color screws here, and I have those depending on the base of your car, whether it's black or silver, depending on which color I use. But let's get right into it. All right, first of all, let's set this car free. This is a beautiful car, one of my favorites. All right, first we're gonna go ahead and drill out these rivets using your 3/16 drill bit. I may speed this up depending on how long it takes. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than others, but I'll show you what you're looking for in order to be ready to remove the base from the top. So here we go. All right, so this one is about ready to go, and we're gonna do the same to the other side. I'm not gonna show the other side, but we're gonna go ahead and get it done, and then I'll show you when we're ready to pull it apart. Okay, so I have both of the rivets removed, and now sometimes trying to pull these apart is difficult. Sometimes it's real easy, and sometimes you might have to use another like little help of a tool to get them apart. But let's see if I can get this one apart. Sometimes you have to kind of get your finger in there. And there we go, this one came apart, so we're good to go. Then what we want to do is we want to remove the windshield and the interior before we drill out these posts. One thing I would recommend is using some sort of cutting oil. I don't have cutting oil per se, but I've been using this air tool oil and put a little bit on the drill bit, because when you start drilling into the base, it's going to start getting hot, and actually you run the risk a little bit higher of breaking your drill bits. This method was actually taught to me by another customizer, and since they told me to put a little bit of oil on the drill bit, I haven't had one snap since. So let's get into this one. All right, so what I do is I kind of just tilt it a little bit, and I stick the drill bit in there just to kind of get a little bit of oil on there, and then we're ready to start drilling. Now this is where you just have to make sure you got a good hold on the base and you're lined up straight with the post, because you don't have that much to work with, so you have to make sure you're as straight as possible. All right, so one thing I do is I have my little Allen wrench tool that I use to screw in the button heads, and I just kind of take it as a gauge and I stick it in there, and I kind of see how deep I went. I don't know if you can see that, but that's more than 1/8 of an inch. So that tells me that I'm good to go and my screw will fit. We're gonna go and do the other side, and we'll come back. Now that I have both of these posts drilled to the depth that I want, we're ready to tap. First, I'm gonna vacuum this up, kind of clean up the area a little bit, and then we'll come back and we'll do the tap. Okay, for the next step, we're gonna go ahead and tap. I would recommend using the cutting oil on the end. Same reason, it'll just help the process be a little bit smoother and reduce the risk of the tap breaking. And I have a little paper towel here, and I'll show you, because after each tap you kind of want to wipe it off and clean it up. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of oil in there, and we're going to go ahead and we're just going to start going in. I would just go slow. It's not a race, just nice and easy, and I go until I can't spin it anymore, or you start feeling that tension getting a little bit tighter, and that lets you know that you're kind of bottoming out in the post. So I'm about there, and then we just back it out. And I don't know if you can see this or not. I don't know if the zoom is really a little bit. See all the metal shavings on the end of that? I kind of just try to clean that up with the napkin, and then I reapply the oil, get a little bit on there. It doesn't take much. And then now we can do the other side. And same thing, just kind of looks like I might be going fast, but I'm actually going pretty slow. Some folks use drills, and that's fine. I'm just choosing to do it by hand so that way I can feel when they're about to bottom out. And so as I'm backing it out here, I kind of give it a little tap, and then we'll just clean off the end of this. We're done with that, and now this is ready for screws. Next, we'll move on to removing the wheels off of the base and putting the new ones on. Okay, for this next part, I know that there are probably a few different ways that you can remove these wheels. In this case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a lighter to heat this up a little bit, and they pop right out. Some folks have like a two-prong like pair of tweezers that they can stick on in there and pop it out. So there are several different methods. This is just what I do. So just be careful when you're using the lighter. Let's see if we get it to go. I kind of just heat it up a little bit, and then they pop right out. So you just spin it around, kind of heat it up a little bit, and they pop right out. Now, the only thing is with this, sometimes it's a little melty right here. I have like a pick tool, and I just kind of get in there and just kind of open up the prongs just a little bit more, like that. I don't know if you can see, if it's too hard to see, but essentially I'm just opening up the prongs to allow the new axle to fit in there. Okay, we're ready to go ahead and toss the wheels in, and I was getting ready to put these on, and I noticed that this axle is not wide enough. As you can see, it's not fitting in there. So, and this is gonna be completely unedited, and I am going to switch it up and put a different set of wheels on. When I originally started this video, I thought that these were gonna be wide enough, and they were not. So instead of the 5-spoke, we're gonna throw on these here. So, and that's gonna happen sometimes. Now, I know how to make custom axles, make it a little bit longer, and that'll be a different video, but for the sake of this video, just doing a wheel swap, we're just gonna toss in these wheels, and there they are. They fit in there, they're still really nice. And one thing that I do sometimes is you can reheat this and press it down, or you can leave it open. It's however you wanna do it. But I like to heat it a little bit and press it down just because it makes it a little bit easier when you're assembling. The axle doesn't fall out of the prongs. There might be a way to like smash it down without heating it. But I basically have like this, it's like a punch tool, and I use the end of it to smash it down. So I'll show you that here. Kind of heat it up a little bit, and then I take the end of this and I just kind of press it down, and that kind of like makes the axle stay in place. And so I'm going to do the same thing for this side. And again, this step is not necessary during the wheel swap. This is just what I do to kind of keep them in place so they don't fall out when I'm going to assemble it. But anyway, let's go right into the assembly. Well, first what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put the interior and the windshield back in place. And then here, I'm gonna go ahead and toss this on the correct way, of course, not backwards. So snap it in place, it's good to go. And so because this is a black base, what I'm gonna do, like I showed earlier, I have two different types of, well, two different colors of screws, same size, same thread. I just have these in case I have a chrome base, these in the event I have a black base. So we're gonna go ahead and pull out those two screws. And then I'm gonna go ahead and grab my little tool. This is kind of like a little homemade tool that I made. You just have to find the right size wrench that fits your button heads and just kind of put it in there, get it snug. We'll grab the next one and we'll put it right in there. And that pretty much completes the wheel swap. So if you want to do a little test, it rolls nice, but there we go. So that is the method I use when I do wheel swaps on Hot Wheels. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I will answer what I can. And what I'll do here at the end of this video, there will be a little, like a little slideshow with a couple pictures of the screws, the tap, and the drill bit that I used for this video. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful. And again, thanks again for all of your support. And until the next video, have a great day.